This year's winner of the ONPHA Award for Excellence is all about partnerships. They've gone beyond the role of landlord, bringing community programs, supports, and services on site to help meet the needs of the individuals and families that call their buildings home. Join us as we recognize York Region's Joffrey Islamic Housing Corporation. Like many ONPHA members, Joffrey is rooted in community collaboration and has a desire to respond to community needs. When they began to house individuals and families with special priority status, they realized that many of their new tenants had difficulty accessing supports that were culturally appropriate and accessible in their first language. In 2004, Joffrey formed a strategic partnership with Sandgate Women's Shelter. They provided on-site space to Sandgate, bringing critical services to their tenants and the community. Families now had access to legal supports, interpreters, trained clinicians, and support workers. This partnership has had lasting impacts on both organizations and the individuals and families they serve. Many participants went back to school or found employment, and Sandgate has grown to have multiple sites throughout the region. Our partnership with Joffrey gave us a foothold in the south of York Region, says Jahan Chowdhury, Executive Director of Sandgate. We were able to provide support to women and children who couldn't access our services otherwise. The staff were instrumental in developing our partnership and making our services accessible. Joffrey staff have also nurtured a relationship with the York Regional Police. Because many of their tenants have emigrated from countries where distrust of the police is common, staff made proactive efforts to strengthen the relationship between tenants and police. Many tenants have now overcome their reservations and see the police as allies in their community. Being invited into communities gives police the opportunity to build positive, constructive relationships with the public, says Sergeant Elaine Morash. By building these connections and letting people get to know us, the community starts to see us as a resource and someone they can depend on. Seniors and adults enjoy Joffrey's partnership with the Social Service Network, giving them access to legal clinics, employment programs, and practical information on pensions and benefits, preparing a will, and elder abuse. This network also facilitates conversations about health-related topics like healthy eating, keeping fit, diabetes, and fall prevention. Speaking of health-promoting partnerships, over 60 women, tenants, and community members participate in subsidized yoga classes 3 times a week thanks to a partnership with a local yoga instructor. Supporting youth development is another major focus of Joffrey's staff and board. They created an affiliated charity, the Crescent Village Trust, allowing them to pursue other sources of funding and expand their youth programming. They receive funding from the Ontario Trillium Foundation to build infrastructure like basketball courts and to expand community rooms. Recreational activities are also offered through a partnership with the YMCA. Our on-site instructors work with children, youth, and their parents to build skills and increase capacity, says Candy Chow, Program Coordinator at the YMCA. Despite some language and cultural barriers, everyone noticed that the children are playing more collaboratively and learning the skills they need to be successful at school and in the community. To promote the pursuit of higher education, Joffrey's Board of Directors awards 3 scholarships to youth pursuing post-secondary education each year. They have done so much for children and youth that call their building home, says Christine Zarebski, Program Coordinator at York Region. They understand the powerful role that young people play in communities and do everything they can to support their development. So what's next for Joffrey? Joffrey is planning to expand both its housing portfolio and administrative and recreational spaces in the coming years. They are building 28 units of housing under the Affordable Housing Program, largely comprised of 1-bedroom units, which will help them meet the need for seniors' housing. Joffrey is committed to proactively building partnerships that support the health and well-being of their tenants and community. Their tireless efforts show what staff and boards of directors can accomplish when they reach out to their community and invite it in. Please join us again in congratulating Joffrey Islamic Housing Corporation.